Hey guys, my name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, and today it's all about you. Well, it's usually all about you because that's what I'm here to do, is to help you guys. And but today it's all about how to listen to a piece of gear that you're going to buy, or go to listen to, or a friend's or a store or a show or something. What's your plan? How to do this? And that's what we're going to get into. So whether it's a speaker or an amplifier or a DAC or a phono preamp or a headphone, whatever it is, what are you going to listen for? How are you going to evaluate it? Is this good? Is this better than what you have? Is it sort of just sideways to what you have? Or is it definitely not nearly as good as what you already have? And then it doesn't really matter, right? But anyway, but before we get to that, I do have to address something. And that is that audiophiles, us, we can feel alone. We can feel alienated because it's hard to find other people that think like us and feel like us. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, they think you're kind of weird, right, to be into audio as deeply as you are, right? But here, you're among friends. Certainly in the comments, the back and forth, whether you're commenting or you're just looking over them, you see people who are definitely in it a lot deeper than you, or about the same, or people that are just sort of dabbling in audio. But my point is, thank you for being here, being part of this community. We are now, it's us, we're in this together. We are 180,000 subscribers strong on this channel, closing in probably by July or August on 200,000 subscribers, and you are part of a community. So don't feel alone. You're among like-minded people. Okay. I just had to get that off my chest. And we also have a little special announcement at the end of this video. But anyway, I think the main thing about auditioning a new piece of gear, the most important thing, is to play familiar music. So when you hear it on a new piece of gear, hopefully you'll be saying, wow, I never noticed that little tambourine accent over there. That kick drum is just connecting in a different way than I've ever heard it before. It seems more dynamic. The vocals seem more human. That sort of thing. Or negatives of those things, that the vocals don't seem as natural as they should be, or the tambourine that I always hear there is sort of lost in the mix, or the bass drum now sounds really thuddy and mushy and stuff. So you're basically assembling a checklist with this music, and the point is you have to know it well to be familiar with enough to know exactly where you stand with a given piece of music. Now, of course, you're not going to use just one song or even one album. You're going to have basically a playlist. That's the best thing. If you can put it on a USB drive, or just bring records or whatever, CDs, whatever suits you and suits the playback conditions to this gear that you're evaluating. But you're going to have a variety of music that you're into, because again, it's important that you know it well. So if you can, I would strongly recommend also including in your playlist some audiophile recordings. And by audiophile, I mean recordings that were made without dynamic range compression or equalization or processing, that sort of thing. Basically, capturing the event as it happened in real time. So, many people say that recordings they like, I don't know, like Led Zeppelin or Steely Dan or something, are audiophile. No, they're just recordings that sound good. But to really get to the heart of the matter, especially if you're interested in acoustic music of any type, playing an audiophile recording just as a check is a good idea. And there's a link to 2 MA recording samplers in the description below this video. And those are definitely audiophile recordings, and they are free. So why not? But in any case, it's also important to listen to as many music genres as you like. If you like rock, but you also like country or rap or something, bring the best of those along. And again, it's super important that you know them intimately, inside and out. Now, the other thing is, you should be basically playing this thing, speaker, amp, DAC, phono preamp, whatever it is, in sort of the way you would actually use it. In other words, if you're into playing music really loud, play it really loud, as loud as you can get away with if you're not doing it in your own home, right? Play it loud. Play it at a medium level. Play it very, very quietly, and again, listen with a critical ear. Is this translating at different volume levels the way you would want? Again, better than what you have, sort of equal to what you already live with, or not as good as what you already have. Because if it only sounds great when you're playing it really loud, but at medium or quiet levels, it's not really cutting it, well, that might be enough information to end the story right there. But the listening levels, whatever they are for you, should be part of this test. It's really important because sometimes the gear only works at its best at, let's say, medium level. It doesn't do loud really well. It doesn't do quietly as well. So listen for loudness, as we used to say. Oh, and then there's the obvious. Listen for bass. Now, some people are really, really into bass. Some people just like it to be there, and some people don't really care at all, right? So bass is the next thing, and have in your playlist recordings that have really good bass, whatever that means to you. If it's bass on hip hop records or reggae or dance music or EDM, whatever it is, have that in your arsenal to listen to, and then listen to the bass. Is it deep? Is it tight? Is it is it mushy or flabby or soggy or something? Evaluating the bass quality and quantity should absolutely be part of what you're listening for, right? And then there's soundstage, stereo soundstage. Hard to do in some situations in terms of really getting a fix on it, whether it's a store or a hi-fi show or something. But again, if you have recordings or you care about soundstage with depth, sometimes even height is apparent, bring along some of those. And if you don't have any, well, that's where those audiophile recordings come into play, because they definitely have terrific sense of some instruments are closer, some are further away, some of them just often space. That's part of the fun of the really best audiophile recordings, is how they image. And the other thing, speaking of imaging, is do you get a strong, locked-in center image? Hugely important. Because if the image, let's say usually a vocal, in the center isn't really tight, if it's just sort of vaguely there, well then maybe the speakers have to be moved, etc., etc. But that's, again, part of what we're listening for. And then there's reproduction of voice. Now, first of all, it should be voice on, let's say, an acoustic recording. Opera, if you're into opera, oh my God, then obviously you got to start. You probably should be starting with listening to voice. But whether it's rock or rap or anything, you should listen to how good does that voice sound? How real does it sound? Assuming it's a fairly naturalistic recording. And that should be in your arsenal of things to have ready to play to get to that answer. Oh, and then there's this question of, and this could take a while, or this could be immediate, but does the sound of this component, speaker, headphone, amplifier, DAC, turntable, whatever it is, does it move you? Do you find yourself, tapping your foot, moving around in your chair, or better yet, getting up and dancing? Bingo, that's the cherry on top. That if you feel that kind of physical connection to the music, well, that may actually make all the other things irrelevant, right? If you're feeling the music more than you with the gear you already have, well, that says a lot. Is right about this speaker, amp, DAC, whatever it is that you're listening to. It's good, or it's actually saying it about the entire system. So, so many things to think about, but to reiterate, music that you know really well and have heard on many different systems, ideally, how does it strike you when you hear it on this new thing? And focus on that. Try not to be talking or looking at the gears. Close your eyes, focus, really focus on sound. It's too easy to be distracted. You're looking at it, or your friend's talking to you. Just settle down and be one. Be one with the music. So my special announcement for today is not a new announcement, but I'm having another call for viewer pictures. Except this time there's a twist. It's for viewers of the Audiophiliac Daily Show that are under 30 years old. Now, I'm going to post the results of this, the pictures that you guys send in on April 20th. And after April 20th, I will announce another call, and that'll be for viewers that are older than 30 years old. So it's, this is a picture. This is a picture show, right? This is all about the photography. Let's just cut to the chase here. So the ones that get picked are the ones that look good. They don't have to be the best gear or the most expensive gear or name brands. It could be free stuff. You could have found it on the street and you put it together and it's making good sounds for you. That's what I want. So price is not the point here, but the quality of the photography absolutely is. If you want to see, maybe, before you take any pictures, check out some of the previous videos I did about viewer systems. And I'm going to link to the playlist right there. Look at a bunch of those and then start snapping away. Now again, doesn't have to be expensive, just has to be a good picture. And you're going to send those pictures to audiophiliac@mail.com. That's it. Now, JPEGs is all I care about. 2 JPEGs. Send me 10, I'm only going to look at 2. So just take 2 really strong pictures. And also, very important, list the gear that's in the picture. I can't really guess. I'm really bad at guessing. So take pictures, great pictures, send a list of what's in the picture, and we're good to go. And you send them to audiophiliac@mail.com. It's all good, right? And I will post those results on April 20th. So I actually know for a fact that my work here is at last complete. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Join the 180,000 that are already here, subscribers. Hit that button right there. And then while you're there, you should also hit the bell so you'll be notified every time there's an amazing new episode. You could also check out my Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac. But while you're here, yes, check out the playlist for viewer systems from previous slideshows that we did here. And you could also check out speaker reviews and headphone reviews and electronics reviews and music reviews, plus interviews. And I do have a very, very special interview coming up in the within the next week or so. I'm going to post an interview with somebody who is an incredible musician who's played with every big name you can mention, and just a really nice guy. I had a very long conversation with him just yesterday. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope to see you back here again very, very soon.